allowing the part of the body that's touching the floor to be grounded. Think like you allow the roots to come from those parts, the back of the head, shoulder blades, hips, heels, palms, elbows. Relax the front of the body. And allow yourself to note how comfortable you are in the stillness. Maybe you already were quite busy in the Sunday morning, had some activities. Let it all be in the past, behind the closed doors. Allow your mind to come to the beginning of your practice. Practice that you would like to explore the movement, explore the connection between the breath and the movement, allowing the mind to follow the movement. Learn new things about yourself on a physical level, but not only. Maybe you will meet some challenges in your physical practice, and you will learn to accept them, and then take this experience and apply to any other areas of your life. Think of this first Shavasana not as relaxation, but as the position that you practice in. And try to sensate the position of the body and anything that you can admit, comfort or discomfort. The discomfort might be a minor that you can adjust by maybe shifting here and there the part of the body. But it might be discomfort of just being still, or you might note a bit of discomfort in the lower back to be on the straight, solid surface. You would like to observe that. That is the response of the body. That's how you can learn what the curves of your spine are. We are exploring those curves in our asanas, trying to find the ideal posture. And it will be different for all of us. I would like to find the way to support the spine, finding the muscular system of the body and use it properly and develop that maybe. But the first practice I would like to start is the breathing, that on Sanskrit calls pranayama. I'm inviting you to observe the breathing that happens through the nose, in and out. And you would like to connect to sensations of the air coming in and out. Cold air in, warm air out. as you hopefully already found the steady pace of your breathing, make sure it's equal. And usually the exhale that you need to force a bit. Hold it like that, equal, length, steady breath. And then you start observing the pattern of the breathing. Are you feeling the top of your lungs, the mid part, and then the belly while you inhale, and then you exhale from the belly, the ribcage, chest, or you come in and practicing their pranayama that calls Dirga, that very often suggested is to inhale to the bottom of your belly, expand the belly, and then go to feel the midsection of your lungs and then the upper part of the lungs. You can try both. You would like to have this control of your breathing. You would like to use the full capacity of your lungs and be aware how you're using it. Turning your mind into observing your breath, helping you to calm your mind. The deep breathing is the first step into bringing the mind in the meditative state. While the lying on the floor position might be not a very proper position for the meditation, as we can fall asleep very easily. So you would like to be conscious right now and keep this premeditative stage of mind while we are practicing stillness of your Shavasana. Observe your breath, and then I'm inviting you to keep this meditative stage of mind, observe the stage of mind through the whole practice. We'll let your breath become just relaxed and comfortable, and start moving. Start with your toes and fingers, your wrists and ankles, and then we'll take the right knee to your chest and interlace the hand on the top of the right knee, and keep your left leg straight. Just squeeze the thigh to your chest. Your shoulders relax. Feel how your lower back press to the mat, and we'll change. Bend your left knee, interlace the hand on the top of the left knee, squeeze it. And then bring both knees to your chest and rock from side to side a couple of times. And then start rocking from the head to the hips. And come into seated position. And we'll start with the called Upavishta Konasana, the wide angle. So you will take your heels wide. If you are falling backward, sit on the bolster or the, or not bolster, sorry, blanket or the block. And let's bring the hands behind the back. And just flex your feet first. And feel stretch. Maybe you can engage the legs so the heels comes even off the floor. And then just point the toe and feel stretch on their ankles, shins. Feel your quads working here, and then let's flex. And feel it here, stretch. And then again, point. And one more time, flex. Keeping your spine straight. And let's just go a couple of circles. One direction. And the other direction. And then just relax. Shake a little bit. And then think of pushing the floor away and lifting the chest. Close your eyes. And just acknowledge where is the tension. What is holding you from lifting the chest and keeping the spine straight, keeping your knees straight maybe. And let's open the eyes and look in front of you and start coming into fold. And again, think of the chest that pulls you forward. Keep your hands behind. Keep your neck neutral, so don't overemphasize. Coming forward with your chin and compressing the back of the neck. And let's come all the way up. Inhale, bring the left hand in front and the right hand is behind. Keeping your spine straight, twist yourself to the right. Keep lifting the chest, keep shoulders on one line. And try to work with your exhalation to deepen this position. And return back to the center. And go opposite. Lift the chest. And think of the twist. Keeping the chin parallel to the floor. And return back to the center. Let's bend the left knee. If you're on the block, you probably have to come off the block. Bring the right elbow inside the right knee. Bring the left hand to the side and twist. Look up. You can have your left hand on the lower back. If you're really rounded and tight, just keep the hand on the back, or you can take your left arm up, reach, or maybe go to the right. And try to avoid collapsing forward. Rather keep your left arm up on your lower back. And let's come back and shake. Bending the right knee, bringing the left elbow inside. Start with the rotation of the torso back. Think of rotation on the thigh. And if you feel comfortable, you can take the right arm up or above the head or keep it on your lower back. Think of opening your chest. And let's return. Let's cross the ankles, bring the heels to your hips, and push yourself to come to the knees, and bring the hands in front of you. Separate your fingers, set your knees hip distance apart, keep your head parallel to the floor first. Just acknowledge the neutral spine position, and from here we will drop the belly and take the chin up. Feel the stretch in the front of the neck, and then push the floor, scoop the belly in, around the spine, and keep nice and long the neck here, feeling the stretch, and continue with inhale to come to the one direction, and exhale, come to the other direction. And you are continuing with your own pace of breath. Try not to rush, but find those spots that are tight. Work through the breath to release it. Try not to move your shoulders and hips back and forth, but keep them at the four corners in between which your spine is moving. And returning back to neutral position. And from this neutral position, you step in the right foot forward into quite wide lunge. You're welcome on this point. Take your blocks to have them in front. Always helpful to have a blocks in front so you can pick them up anytime you need. So move your left hip forward to get the stretch in the quadricep. And try not to create compression on the front knee. So don't be in this compressed knee position. Just step your foot so the shin are parallel to the floor. And then we'll bring the blocks higher. Set yourself in a balance here, maybe just the tip of the fingers touching the blocks. And then bring the hands to the knee. Just hold here for the moment. Find the balance. And start lifting the chest and maybe dropping the head back a bit. You might have your hands on the knee if you're experiencing a bit of a challenge to keep a balance here, or you might interlace the forearms behind the back and come to the extension here. Relax the shoulders back. Lift the chest. Push the left hip forward. Getting very intense stretch for the hip flexor area. And then with control, you will return back. and find your way to change. Step in the left forward. If you need some support for the knee, always have something, a blanket. Blanket could be good. And you will start first finding the lunge stretch. You can have your hands on the blocks, and then we'll come with a high blocks, maybe just the tip of the fingers. You will push the floor with your shin and foot, and then bring your hands to the knee and start lifting the chest. And then you might have your hands on the knee, or try to bring the forearms behind and continue with that range. Any amount that feels comfortable. Think not of collapsing to your lower back, but lifting the chest. And let's release. Bring the hands to the blocks. Move the blocks to the side. Step your left foot back. And then set up your hands shoulder width apart. Tuck your toes. And come to the downward dog. Set up your feet hip distance apart. Shake your head. You can have your knees slightly bent for the first downward dog. Find first your neutral side. Take a couple of long exhales with which you are allowing to release the spine. Allow the head to pull the lower back and get the sensation of decompression there. And on next inhale, look forward and come into plank. Shoulders above the palms. Keep your head parallel to the floor. Don't look down. Look in front of you. Drop the knees and continue to move with the chest forward. Bend your elbows. Shoulders away from the ears. Come all the way down to the floor. Slide your hands into letter Y and separate your toes. And now find your pointed toes and take your toes off the floor. And then lift your chest a bit, just a bit. And take your arms off the floor also, maybe a couple of inches. And keep your head in between your arms. And think of a stretch of the front of the body. Keep your neck relaxed. Don't work with your neck. Hold the belly in. Engage the glutes. Engage the hamstrings. And come all the way down. Exhale. Bring the toes together. Bring the hands on the both sides of the rib cage. And then maybe through the bent knees, tap your toes. Come into downward dog. Exhale. Keep the head between arms. Push in the sitting bones. Up and back. Again, pay attention to how you feel in your lower back, in your neck. Find the strength of the upper body, your arms, your biceps, triceps working here. The muscles around the shoulder blades working here to support. Belly is in. Don't collapse with the ribcage. Look forward and step your right foot forward into lunge. Let's find our blocks. Have the blocks on the both sides of the right foot. And get the body weight to your left foot. Let's turn the blocks to the higher level. Take your torso a bit off the floor. Have just the tip of the fingers on the block. So there is a space between your thigh and the rib cage. Keep your neck neutral. And now let go of the block and take your arms on the both sides of the hips. Feel that you're using your legs, not just the front, but also the back. And you coming forward from the chest. On exhale, bring hands on the block. And then find your way to bring your hands on the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On exhale, step your left foot forward. Find your blocks. Reset your distance. Make sure you're using the back leg, and then get your blocks a bit higher, and then just have a tip of the fingers and lift. So you're not collapsing down. You're holding yourself with the strong legs. Create the space between the thigh and the rib cage, and when you're ready, you're holding the arms on both sides of the hips. Take a nice long breath. try to get the work for their abdomen muscles here, but strong back leg as well. On exhale, then hands on the blocks, or then on the floor, blocks on the sides of the mat, and step into downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, look forward, come into plank. Shoulders above the palms. Drop the knees, move with the chest forward. Don't allow the shoulders to be elevated to the ears. Belly in. Use your tricep strength to bring yourself down to the floor. This time you slide your hands forward with the elbows on 90-degree bend. And you can separate the toes a bit apart. And let's on inhale, lift to the chest. Your lower rib is still on the floor. You point in the toes. You're lifting the chest. Neck is neutral. Don't take your chin too high. And come all the way down. Exhale. Next time, if your lower back allows you, you try to come a little bit higher. The lower rib now come off the floor. But you hold the belly in. You engage in the glutes, engage in the legs. Everything is strong here. And come all the way down. Exhale. Next time, again, only if it's available for you. You're coming all the way with the straight elbows, but you're not coming to straight elbows and shoulders lifted. If it's not possible, you keep your elbows bent and think of lifting the chest and stretching the front of the body. And then exhale, come all the way down. Bring the hands on the both sides of the rib cage. Tug the toes. Bring the chin to the chest. Push the floor and push the hips up and back into the downward dog. Come into neutral spine. If you tighten your hamstring, always have your knees slightly bent. Let's take a look on your palms. You keep your palms parallel. Our next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Bring the big toes together, bend your knees, and just allow your arms to hang. If you're not reaching the floor and you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can hold elbow to elbow, interlace your forearms, and just shake your head. Feel that your body weight comes to the front of your toes. And then, like a cat stretch, you start with the tailbone, and you're very slowly rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Chin pressed to the chest. Chin will be the last that will come off. And when you're already in standing, you're releasing the arms and taking the chin parallel to the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Stretch the tip of the fingers to the floor. Lift the chest. Close your eyes. Come back to the deep breathing you practiced in the beginning. So now we are in standing, but we're in stillness. Observe the stillness. Are you really still, or you can note there is movements. Your mountain is moving from left to right, from front to the back. How you can find your stillness, you need to find your legs. So start finding the feet that press to the mat. Think of the big toe outer edge of the feet and the center of the heel, but think of lifting the arches of the feet. To push the feet to the floor, you need to engage your legs, inner thighs, but you're not extending, you're not letting the ribs to come forward. Think of the distance between the lower rib and the hip bone. It's in, but at the same time you want to lift the chest, and with that you will rotate the shoulders backward a bit, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. So you are a tall mountain. Your crown of the head is reaching to the sky. Your breath is nice and long, and you would keep this breath. Through the floor will go next. Open your eyes. On inhale, take your arms up. Reach through the tip of the fingers. Try not to extend. Keep the strong front of the body supporting the spine. Palms together. You will bend your knees. You will take your sitting bones out with a flat back. You're folding forward. And bring the hands below the knees. We're practicing only half fold. Press the hands to the shins and reach forward. It's like someone is pulling your head forward. Don't take your chin too high. Don't look on your knees.
Think of the sitting bones, step out, your lower back is flat. Then bend your knees more, bring the hands on the both sides of the feet, and try not to move your shoulders. Step back into plank. Hold the plank. Remember, all what we worked on the standing, you still work here. Strong legs, belly in. But you need to use the upper body. You need to push the floor using the arms. Don't drop the head, look forward. Your neck is in neutral position. Drop the knees. And continue to move with the chest forward so your shoulders should pass the line of the fingertips. And you're using the triceps. You're coming all the way down. Exhale. This time the hands remain on the sides of the ribcage and you keep your toes and heels together. You engage in the legs, you push in the floor, and you lift in the chest. Think that you're stretching the front of the body. You go only to the level of the back bends that work for your lower back. You protect the lower back by holding the belly in. And then bring the chin to the chest, push the floor, scoop the belly, and roll through the toes into downward dog. Exhale. Holding the downward dog for 5 breaths. So remember, you want to stretch the back of the body. You want to be neutral spine. You want to get the traction of the spine. This is the inversion. The head is lower than your heart, but you need to use your upper body to hold here. On next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Have the hands on the shins. Come halfway. Inhale. And then drop the hips. Body weight comes to the heels. Now slide your hands to your knees. So your shoulders and knees are aligned. And then take your arms parallel to the floor. If your shoulders allow you, you can take the arms on the both sides of the ears. Shoulders down. And bring your gaze in between your palms. So you don't drop the head. And then come all the way up. Inhale, palms through the center, return to the sides of the hips. Exhale. We'll start with the Utkatasana chair pose for the next flow. So you start with the body weight on the heels. Take your sitting bones out and take your arms up. Inhale, palms together. You bring the body weight to your toes, folding forward. Hands goes to the shins. Let the hands to the shins and reach forward, lengthening. And then bring the hands to the floor, step back into plank. Take the breath here. You're welcome to go chaturanga or drop the knees and take your shoulders forward in front of the tip of the fingers. Point the toes, press the floor, lift the chest. Maybe upper dog is in your practice. You're welcome to come here. Chin to the chest, scoop the belly. Exhale into the downward dog. We have only one exhale here. Now look forward. And step your right foot forward in between your hands. So if you're stuck in the middle, just take your ankle and bring it forward. Distribute the weight to the left foot and take your torso up. Get a moment here to balance, to find the support, and take your arms up on the both sides of the ears. If you can, lift your gaze and think of reaching with the chest up. So get this lift up while you ground it through the legs. Try not to allow the front knee to fall in. Keep finding your inner thighs of the right leg. On exhale, bring the hands on the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward, come into plank. Hold the plank. So from here is your choice. You can drop the knees or try to come chaturanga. Inhale, come to your version of back bend. Lifting chest, not allowing the shoulders to be elevated. Chin to the chest, push the floor, scoop the belly, roll through the toes into downward dog. Exhale. Step your left foot forward. Find the back leg. Take your time here, no rush. Bring the hands to the hips, come up. Get the balance, get support. When you're ready, you will take the arms up and have all fingers together. Think of reaching to the sky through the tip of the fingers. Push the front knee forward. Use the back leg. Try not to collapse to the lower back. Keep the core muscles engaged here to support. On exhale, bring the hands on the floor. Step into downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, look forward, come into plank. And then drop the knees and just sit on your heels. And just watch me. We'll work a little bit on the upper body strength. So we will have the blocks first this way. And we will come into the plank with the tip of the finger maybe inch behind the blocks. You start your plank here, and we will try to come into chaturanga. So you come to the tip of the toes, and you will bend your elbows, and you will try to come here, lightly touch. You will lose it here, that's fine. Drop the knees, and you start again. So I want you to work on this movement forward while you're not doing this. You keep long neck, you look forward, touch, drop the knees. Go 5 times on your own. That's the first progression to build your strength of the tricep to go to chaturanga. So shoulders, so look forward, move. If this is a big challenge for you, you can just work with the knees on the floor and come this way. But you're not coming this way. Not the belly leading you, it's the shoulders. And look forward. So just try your way. Now we'll just watch. Elbows goes back. Yes. So come and rest for the moment. So you want very often what we're trying to do, we are going this way. You see, look at my elbows. So right now my weight comes on my elbows and I'm collapsing. But if you move forward and you keep your forearm perpendicular, then you're using your tricep. Okay? So try again. So that's this movement forward, is to maintain the forearm perpendicular to the floor. That's, yeah. Drop your knees. So walk with your knees down on the floor. Yes. Just forward. Just, yes. Very good. Elbows closer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Come and rest. So what else we do in here? We are extending in the lower back. So now my hips are so heavy I don't have strength to hold. So I'm doing this. Right? So hold. Think of tucking the tailbone and hold the belly in all the time when you come down. Try one more time. Being aware of what you're doing here in your lower back. The chaturanga is the base of all arm balancing pose. So we need to master this forearm 90-degree position. And let's rest in chaturanga pose. Relax the arms. So anytime today we're going to come to this lowering down, you're welcome to practice your awareness of what you're doing in your upper body, what you're doing in the core muscle. And let's come to the downward dog. Exhale. And look forward, walk to the front of the mat. Bring the big toes together, bring the hands on the shins. Reach forward. And then take your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands return to the sides of the hips. Let's take the block. One block and we'll face the south wall and step in your feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Turn the right foot out and bring the block inside the right foot. Bring the hands on the hips and allow a couple of movements with your hips to find that your left hip rotated while you want to open your shoulders to be parallel to the plane in front of you. Take the arms parallel to the floor. And now you will start pulling the leg bone into the hip, going with the left hip to the left in, sliding this right side of the torso to the right. Keep it parallel to the floor, and then you windmill your arms, and you can have the palm flat or just the tip of the fingers, and bring your gaze up to your left thumb. And work on opening your chest. Think of the sensation of the open chest. You would like to keep your front knee straight if it's possible. If you're not reaching to the block, bring the back of the palm into the shin, and And if you have a tension in the left shoulder, just have your hand on your lower back. Work on this rotation of the torso. Think of finding that long side. No, don't do this. Keep the left ribs coming in while your right shoulder coming out. And using your legs and posture, come all the way up. And let's turn on the heels to the opposite side. Bring the block inside the left foot again. Just find this right hip. If you will lock your hip square, you will be in this. This is not a triangle. You want to maintain this left side straight. Take your arms parallel to the floor. Pull the leg bone into, and then go with the left arm as far as you can go. Create the space here on the left side, and then find your arms on one line. So this is the triangle. The first triangle we have is our legs. Usually it's not a problem. You might have some restrictions in the hamstring, front hamstring. Then the second triangle we want to have is the front leg, your spine, and the front arm. The third triangle is 2 palms and your tailbone. Visualize this triangle. And there is one more triangle. It is the crown of the head, base of your neck, and your left shoulder. So don't drop the head. Think of the neck as continuation of the spine. And come all the way up. Exhale and step to the front of the mat. Have your block with you. We will use the block for the next one. Actually, let's have 2 blocks for the first variation. So you have your right foot in front, and you have blocks on both sides of the right foot. So when we're staying in this split position, split feet position, ideal is to have heel-to-heel alignment, right? And you will want to square the hips. But sometimes we don't have this mobility in the hips, and your left hip will remain behind. So then you will need to go a little bit to the right with the front foot and square the hips. So have your hands on the hips, have your shoulders aligned as well. So you are facing with your torso the front of the room, and now keep your hips moving back, and you will fold. And we'll bring just the tip of the fingers on the block. And continue to pull the leg, the right leg back. So push the right hip back. You want to have your hip square. And I want you to think of lifting the chest. And I will lifting the chest. Neutral spine. Front knee straight. That's your restriction. Yes. If you have a tight hamstring, you have this restriction. What I don't want you to do is to be this way. Sometimes we have limitation that we can't even touch the block with the tip of the fingers, then it's here. But I want you to maintain neutral spine. That's called pyramid pose. Let's step forward to the front, and let's change. So step the right foot. Because the hip mobility is different, you might not need to move with the feet apart, but you might need to do it here. So square the hips. The block's actually a good reference for you. So think of the hips and shoulders parallel. And you pull the left hip in. You can have restriction here on the hamstring, and you're coming. And we'll today just have the tip of the fingers on the blocks. Reaching forward. So not looking down. You should not look on your knee. You should look 1 foot in front of your big toe. And keep, so limitation could be in the hamstring, that it's a bit hard to touch the block. So just play with that. Very good. And step to the front of the mat. Exhale. So we will try to progress into a reverse triangle, that we need to keep in mind this neutral spine. So we don't want to do reverse triangle this way. Rounded spine. If it's limitation, you really stay high and you twisting this way. So we'll go slowly into the triangle together. So have the right foot in front and have just one, actually you can have 2 blocks on the both sides of the foot, and square the hips. Again, if you need, get a bit wider. Take inhale, lift the chest, and come into pyramid pose. Whatever is your pyramid pose, you already know. You might go a little bit lower. Now, you would try to bring the left hand on the right block. But if you feel that you are challenging, your balance is challenged, have the hand on the left block. Bring the right hand to your lower back and twist the right shoulder up so you would like to look above the right shoulder. You're not allowing the right heel to come off the floor. You would like to keep your front knee straight. So limitation here in the hamstring, and you again think of lifting the chest. You would try to stack one shoulder on the top of the other. Your crown of the head goes toward the window. And notice that you're not tense. You are breathing. And unfold. This is challenging pose. Let's go to the other side. So step back. Set your block. So if you have a challenge to be going across, just use the block inside. Hands on the hips. Come into pyramid pose. So never rush right away into twist. Get your first triangle, your support, your legs, and then bring the right hand across. Think of bringing the right shoulder forward. The right shoulder is about the left ankle, and you're twisting. Twist happening in the rib cage. So try not to go to the left. You're always going with the crown of the head to the front. Your spine remain on the midline of the mat. Your front knee is straight and the back heel is on the floor. Front knee straight, back heel on the floor. Cheryl, back heel on the floor. And unfold. And step to the front of the mat. So let's just rest from this deep twist. Bring the big toes together. Take the arms on both sides. Exhale. Catch your breath. And let's go to another flow. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach up. Palms together, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands on the shins, lengthening knees could be bent. Hands on the floor, step back into plank. And now we will go to our chaturanga or half chaturanga, so you can move forward to the tippy toes and keep your shoulders away from the ears. Bend your elbows, slowly with control, coming down to the floor. Point the toes, press the hand, lift to the chest. Hold the belly inch into the chest, exhale into the downward dog. On next inhale, step your right foot forward. And let's pivot the left heel. You are quite wide. Bring the right elbow to the right knee and open yourself to the left. Bring the left hand to your lower back and rotate your shoulder. Coming into extended triangle. But you try not to collapse to the right shoulder. Very easy, light touch. Work more from the core. Find more weight on the back leg. Maybe you need to go wider. Hold the front of the body in. Don't extend in the lower back. On exhale, using your legs and core, take your torso up and take your arms into warrior two. Try to reach with the both palms equally to both directions. Don't allow the right arm to lead you. Check your front knee. You don't want to open out. Keep your knee above the hip. Bend your knee. Find your inner thigh working here to support the knee. The lazy muscles, the abductors. And make a huge circle with the left arm. Drop the left knee down to the floor. Walk your right foot to the side of the mat. Bring your hands inside. Turn your foot 45 degrees. Maybe you feel like it open the foot to the outer edge. Allow the inner thigh stretch. You might go a little bit lower with the forearms on the floor. Drop the head. Maybe you are about to tuck the toes and take the knee off the floor. Or you're welcome to be just in the first position here. Whatever working for you. A lot of different variations. Let's come up, bring the right hand inside the right foot, bring the right foot to the center, press the hands and step into downward dog. On next inhale, step your left foot forward and pivot your right heel. And then you will bring the left elbow to the left knee and bring the right hand behind and twist, coming into extended triangle. Work your legs here. Work your core. Very light touch. Shoulders open, chest open. Think of the neck as the part of the spine. And now using your legs, using your core, you're coming up and extending the arms to the both directions into the warrior. 2. Keep your arms on one line. Try to hold the space between the lower rib and the hip in. Find the core muscles holding you here, supporting your spine. So while you want to be strong, you don't want to be tense. So relax the shoulders and keep energy in your arms. Making a huge circle with the right arm. You drop the right knee down to the floor, both hands inside the thigh. You walk your foot out, and you're welcome to stay here, or to go to the forearms, or maybe even tap the toes and take the knee off the floor. Just be where you need to be. Drop the right knee down to the floor, and walk your hands to support you into the stepping to downward dog. And then look forward, come into plank. And let's come one more time. Move forward, shoulders away from the ears, neck parallel to the floor. You're coming slowly down. And then push yourself into the seated on the knee position, and we're going to do just a regular push-up in which you can take your elbows wide. So we will have the hands on the width of the mat. I love to turn my palms a bit in, and you're welcome to go full with the body parallel to the floor, or you're welcome to have your knees on the floor. Then I would ask you to have a block and go all the way down to touch the block with the chest. Keep your neck parallel to the floor. You go 6 times. So you're welcome to go full, or just the kneeling position. I'm fine with that. So just go on your own 6. When you're done with 6, come in resting child pose. Okay. We're quite strong, so we can add another one. And the next one, we will have the hands wider than that. Again, you're welcome to go full one, or have the knees and go here. So you're going to work more shoulders now, going wider. But chest is also so wider than the mat. Yes. Okay, just have your thumb on the mat then, yes. And then go 6. Yes. You can have your knees on the floor. Try not to do this, okay? Go.
Am I doing that?
You have it a little bit higher.
How do I do it?
So just drop. You need to have your neutral spine. So you can take a look. So you're not this way, but you're moving your hips with me. If you're done with 6, take a rest. And we have one more. So the next one, you would like to have a diamond shape. So you have your index finger and the thumb together. And this diamond is under your chest. So it probably will, at least I can't go so low. You can do it this way as well. So it will be a little bit different for one. So go 6. You're supposed to have straight body. Shoulder, the hands under the chest. Yeah. That's so good. Maybe drop it a little bit low, and that's it. And step or maybe half it back. So the shoulders go there and hold it in, and now go. Yeah. Good. That's it. Yeah, very good. And the rest of child pose. And let's come to your downward dog. And then walk to the front of the mat. And then very slowly come up and choose the standing position. And we'll practice the tree pose. That's a bit easy for the balance. Bring the body weight to the left foot. And bend your right knee and open knee to the side. So the foot could be on the ankle, on the calf muscle. You're welcome to go higher, pressing the foot inside the thigh, but never on the knee. Make sure the hips are square. So you're working with the inner thigh again to rotate the knee. Belly in, you're not extending. And you bring your hands in front of the chest. Look on something that is not moving in front of you. That will be your drishti point, concentration. Be aware how you're working with your supported foot. Think of having the big toe pressed. Try not to compensate with the shoulders because you do have a hip opening here. So we have a tendency to compensate with the opposite shoulder. Try not to lean back, but think of letting your tree grow up. You need to use the core. Let's release. Very good. Shake your legs. And we'll go to the other side. Bring the body weight to the right foot. Bend your left knee open. Set the roots. And then bring the hands in front of the chest. Shake your legs and let's come into seated position. And we'll flex the feet. And let's everybody bend the knees. And have your feet flexed and just allow yourself to roll on the front of the sitting bones and keep your neutral spine. Lift the chest. That's today will be our start position for the fold forward. And then you walk your hands maybe to come to the shins. And you keep your neutral spine, you keep lifting the chest. And from here, you will start walking your heels. And if you walk your heels and at some point you feel this is a gap, that's where you need to stop. Maybe you're able to hold your toes and walk that you're not losing, that's fine, you can progress and go to the full Paschimottanasana, but you would like to maintain this neutral spine and stop where you need to stop and find this connection between tight hamstrings and the lower back. On some point, the hamstrings will pull you and you might come into rounded spine and be here. So this is not what we want to practice. We would like to keep it neutral and close your eyes. Just check where is your tightness. Where is the limitation? Where you feel the sensation that holding you to go all the way with the chest to the thighs. Keep your neck neutral. Don't take the chin too high. Don't compress the back of the neck. And let's release. For this next one, you will bend the right knee and bend the foot inside the thigh. If you're very tight in your hips, your knee is high, I would suggest you have a block to support the knee. Foot is flexed. This position called Janu Shirshasana. And again, having the hips square. We will come into fold and we'll have the hands on the both sides of the shin. If you're not using the block to support the knee, you can have two blocks in front of you, and then you will slide the block. The blocks will give you the feedback that you're not falling on one side. Usually this happening, right? So we don't want to that. We keep the shoulders and hips as a four corners. So the blocks here can be a good reference for you. So you can pull yourself with holding the edges of the blocks. And again, you want to bring the chest to the belly to the side, chest to the knee, and then you'll go width of the chin to the shin, and your gaze is always forward to your big toe. And you're trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Don't allow this tension on the trunks happen. And again, think of the release rather than hold your foot. Think of the back of the body. But here we're adding some hip opening, and sometimes this is the limitation for us to go deep and to fold. And let's release, and we'll go opposite. So with the right leg and bend the left knee. Again, knee is high. Use the block. You can, at the other side, keep your blocks on the side of your shin and just the breath. Let's have block, and we'll sit on the block, bend in the right knee, left in the left foot, interlacing the hands on the front of the knee, and reach up. So again, we are maintaining the neutral side, and we'll bring the right hand, maybe because you're on the block, it will be just the tip of the fingers, and you will use the left hand or elbow or the forearm to rotate yourself. Keep your right hip heavy on the floor, so don't allow to roll off the floor with the right hip. While you are grounding the right hip and keeping the knee up, you might reach to the IT band stretch here. The block, the reason to sit on the block, as I want you to maintain the neutral spine. Most of us need it. And we'll release and go opposite. So in the left heel close until the hands lift the chest. And with the left hand, define and twist. And the two. So let's have our two blocks on the sides of the hips. And we will cross the ankle. And try to bring the heels as close as you can. So I will show you the first progression that probably most of you will be able to do. So you need to really squeeze the thighs close. Bring the hands on the block. And you will just try to take your hips off the floor. That's it. Just up and down. Several times, just try it. Okay, so if you wish to go further, you will try to come with your toes off the floor. So try this. Okay. This is the second progression. So we're going to do this in between our Navasana pose today. Okay? So just have it walk here, have your big toes on the floor, have your hands on the knees, lean back into 45 degrees, take your toes off the floor. You can be here, hold, or go full version, holding 5, 4, 3, lifting the chest, 2, 1. Don't touch the floor. Cross the ankles. So you might have a big toe on the floor. Pick it up. And without touching the floor, coming again into Navasana. Holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross the opposite ankle. So you're welcome to touch the floor. Pick up. Without touching the floor, come into Navasana. 4, 5, 4, smile, 2, 1. Last time, crossing, pick it up. Now you will take your block away. You will bring the heels to your hips, roll to the front, step back into plank. Hold the plank. Hold the plank. Look forward, shoulders above the palms. So go one more time into Chaturanga. So you can drop the knees or try to go full run all the way down. Point the toes, press the hands, lift the chest. Inhale. Tug the toes, chin to the chest. Exhale into the downward dog. Hold your downward dog. On exhale, look forward and hop into seated. And then come lie on the floor. Bend your knees. Try to bring your heels as close as you can. Maybe you try to touch the heels with your fingers. If this was working for your knees, and we'll come into bridge pose. When you're ready, take your hips up. Keep your big toes pressed. Keep your heels pressed. Keep your forearm pressed. And think of the extension that you are trying to reach to get into your thoracic spine. So squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest up. Neck is neutral, so don't press the chin to your chest. You don't want to round the neck. Come all the way down, exhale. Take a rest. The second set, you're welcome to have hands interlaced, or if you're practicing full wheel, you're welcome to come to full wheel. So take your time and push the hips up. You can have the hands where they are. You can interlace. You can go to full wheel. Oh, good. That's not the problem. So try to squeeze the shoulder. When you're ready, come all the way down, bring your knees to your chest, and drop from side to side. Hug the knees and breasts. Especially if you were in the full wheel, just take your time to massage your lower back, bring it back into the position that will clearer to the extensive back bend. And from here, we're welcome to practice the inversion. So you can use the bolster to elevate your hips and legs up. You can go to shoulder stand if this is your regular pose. If you're practicing something else, like you are working towards headstand, you need to go to the wall. You can maybe go handstand. You still have the strength, so just be where you would like to be. Legs up on the bolster is absolutely okay. Make sure if you go into the full shoulder stand that you do have space between the neck and the mat. You're not rounded in your neck. You have this light. Your C7 is not touching the floor. You are on the back of the head and you are on your shoulder blades. shoulder stand. It's not the neck stand. So sometimes we just have the build of their spine that the shoulder stand is uncomfortable. So maybe that's not a very good pose for you. And don't push yourself. Everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you need to do. In our Saturday classes, we're working on the progression in a handstand that I love most for the inversion. We're working near the wall, having the legs on the wall, and that's good enough for us to be upside down, to get the traction in the spine. Head is pulling the spine opposite direction. We don't have any compression in the neck. But we need to develop the strength of the upper body. That's what we need today. And we'll find a way to come all the way back down. And we'll all practice today the supported fish before the Shavasana. So you will need the block. You will place the block in between the shoulder blades. You might be comfortable to come with the head on the floor to get a bit of a stretch on the front of the neck. It might be too much for you. You will need the second block of blanket to support the back of the head. And you will take the arms to the side. And we'll hold this very, very gentle back bend, supported back bend. Make sure the block is in between the shoulder blades, not in your lower back. So you would like to have the back of the neck into comfortable extension, comfortable for you. Straight legs, heavy hips, heavy arms. And we'll be holding here for the couple of moments. I'm inviting you to bring your awareness to the center of your heart. And let your breath to be as in the pace of the ocean waves. Coming in, bringing your new positive energy. And on exhale, taking any stress, tension away. Allow yourself to spin their palette of rainbow colors in front of your closed eyes. And note which color comes naturally to this position, to this moment. chest, you can, and then just allow yourself to take a couple of moments with a straight spine.